I know you hate me. You've been begging me to get rid of that place since what happened. But let me tell you something, boy. Ain't no demons but the ones you can see with your eyes.
I don't even know who you are anymore.
I'd blow up, not even know why I'm blowing up.
Like a ticking time bomb. Give him to me. Give me my son. Give me my son. Give me my son.
I'm just a kid.
I know.
I can't help.
Then why are you here?
I love you.
I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm speaking with award-winning director Trivelle Simpson. The movie Talks. It's a great movie about talking about the mental issues. I watched this film, it's so amazing how it was written, shot, it was directed. So we're going to discuss about your film, Talk. You directed this film. It's a film that talks about mental issues.
Yep.
So when the first time I watched this film, it was something that really touches me because I saw that most of the experience that I saw in that film, most of the stuff that was going on in that film, it can be related to a lot of people I know.
Mhm.
Some are just a glimpse of things that happen in every human being. So that was the reason I said, okay, this film, I had to take a look more into this film. So I realized that this film was written, well directed, and today I'm very happy to meet you here, the award winner, Trivelle Simpson. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So the first question today is the beginning of the film. So the beginning of the film, you hear some kind of argument by the star, Troy Crossfield, right? He was talking about his son. He was talking about the distinction of his son between him and the mother, that the son is unlike the mother who is weak, all right? So with that, you can tell there's certain things that is going on in the family. There's a commotion somewhere there. So when you move forward a little bit, he got a phone call. And that phone call, the beginning of the phone call, this guy was so happy. So everything was great, But at the end of the phone call, everything just changed.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the phone call, he was told that he has achieved something. This is what you always wanted. And at that very moment, everything changed. Can you tell the audience why it was written that way?
So this is actually, this is one of those collaboration moments with Brandon and myself. Brandon, who's the writer of the piece. Brandon has a great collaboration energy, so he allows his directors to add. So in the first version of the script, there wasn't the beginning with the father talking about the mother. That was something that I approached him and said, hey, we should probably have the parental concept because I wanted to show legacy. I wanted to show legacy. And the scene with the phone call, the idea is that when you're chasing a goal, when you're going after a target, you don't focus on how sad, angry, happy you really are because your focus is the goal. And what we wanted to show is this guy got the goal and it didn't help. Because sometimes people will think I'm unhappy, but I'll be happy when I get the car. Or I'm unhappy, but I'll be happy when I get the job or the wife or the, so what we wanted to show in that moment, we wanted to start our film off right away with what you think you will get that will make you happy isn't going to do it. Happiness has to come from something internal before it can be enjoyed based off external factors.
That's great. Okay, so moving on. So when he came home, the wife came to hug him, and the wife immediately understood that probably this is not the same guy that went to work today. She must have known that about him, She realized that, for some days now, something is going to change here, all right? So she tried to make him feel happy. Or he withdrew himself to the TV room, all right? Okay, she's worried, and she came to the TV room, tried to cheer him up, all right? Telling him that things that she always tell him before that will make him happy. And I got stuff in the fridge, the keys and everything. And she realized that it didn't even move him. Then by then she must have knew that, this stuff is back again, And she left. So there's a dialogue used here. When she left, and then Troy said, "I love you." Instead of her saying, "I love you too," and she goes, "I know."
Yep.
So why did he put that? Because that it means a lot here.
Yep.
So okay.
That is, oh man, I remember being on set because that's not in the script.
Yeah.
In the script, she gets up, she leaves, and we're on set, and the moment is there. And this is a credit to Jessica Myrie, the actress, and Troy.
Yeah.
And I said, "Troy, when she leaves, say I love you." And I said, "Jessica, we'll try it two ways. One, we'll try it with you not saying anything. And two, we'll try it with you saying, I know." And what that is because it was a thing for him. There are times when people are telling you that they love you, not for you, not that you can get the emotion, but so that you can let them off the hook. So I think what we're trying to speak in that moment is he knows that he's not giving her any energy, any emotion. Because he's in his own mind.
Yep.
When he says "I love you," if she said "I love you too," it would have made it worse.
Yep, would be flat.
Because he would then realize I'm doing this to a woman who loves me. It was almost the compassion of a wife to say, "I know that what you need to hear is that I know you love me.
I know you love me.
That I know that no matter what's going on or what's gonna happen, I know you love me." It was an indirect acceptance of, look, what's going on is bigger than me. I can't help you even though I want to, but I know that you love me. And if I don't know anything else, I know that. I mean, there's so many layers in that relationship of what's it like when you're the spouse of a person who's going through something and you can't help them. What ways do you love them? Do you double down on it? Do you try and force it? Or do you kind of just love them from a distance? And it's risky, as our film shows it, there's a risk. But I think that was the ultimate version of a wife's compassion, that she received his "I love you" and gave him back an answer that served him, not her.
That's right. That was great. That was great. So when the story here is that Troy is a guy who worked hard, all right? He accomplished a lot of things. But at the same time, he thinks people are taking advantage of his sources within the family, all right? And there was a scene when he said, "The reason I work is because they pay me. If they don't pay me, I won't be doing the job." So he works so hard. So it's like his success is also his failure, because he keeps going back to that. My success is being shared among a lot of people. People are just there to find a way to take everything away from me, about the wives using the children and everything. So everything can go around in his head. So can you explain that? Yeah.
So what we did with those voiceovers is those voices is actually his father's words to him. He's remembering words that his father said that are coming out in the way he lives. And I think we've all been there where sometimes we have a father figure that we don't want to be like, or that they've given us things that we don't want, or they've said it in a way that we don't want to hear it like that ever again. But the power of fatherhood is that those words have impact. So we thought it was critical that at this huge point in the character's life, Troy's life, he's walking around this home, he's being very nostalgic. We felt it was powerful that the words of his father is what's ringing in his head. And indirectly, what you'll realize is as much as he doesn't want to be like his father, the words his father gave him had an impact on how he lived. So when his father says, "Do you know why I go to work? I go to work because they pay me." Yep. So you got to get, you have to get something out of what you're doing. And if you don't get something out of it, there's no point doing it. That, and he's giving it to him forcefully. So he gets to a point where he's looking at himself and seeing the failing of even that mentality, because he's thinking, I work hard and I'm not getting, my dad told me I have to get something out of it and I'm not getting anything out of it. What does that mean for me? So it's interesting that you picked up on that, because what the father is telling him in every moment is undercutting his disappointment with himself.
That's correct.
Because now he's older, now he's stronger, and he's still not better. And he doesn't know what to do about it.
That's great, man. Let's talk about the character of his brother, his little brother that was there with him. He always tried to walk into the memory lane to make him realize himself, all right? He came there with a can of beer, try to share him up, right?
Yeah.
He said, no, I don't drink beer anymore. I'm a wine guy now. Then the guy paused, try to make you understand that you remember what we always play for, to have a great job, to have a nice family. He find that everything he was saying, he's trying to withdraw himself. He just wants to be alone. So I wanted to tell the audience the role that his brother played there, trying to bring him back to himself, that memory lane, so that he can realize, just try to bring happiness into his life. Because I know those things matter in that film. Yeah.
I think so. Obviously, what he's actually seeing, it's even closer than his brother. He's talking to the younger version of himself. He's talking to him.
Yep.
And I think what that is those moments are sometimes when you look back on who you were 10 years ago,
yeah,
you don't recognize it. You think, man, I can't believe I thought that, or I can't believe that's who I was. But the flip side of that is, if who you were 10 years ago could see who you are now, they would also have some stuff to say.
That's right.
They would also wonder how you got, because it's a balance, right? As much as we can look back and think, why did I look like that? And why did I think like that? If our younger selves looked at us now, they would say, hey, why did you do that? And why are you here? So that was more of this joust. And the actor who plays that role, Armani, does a phenomenal job. Like you said, he says, don't tell me like you're a wine guy, because to him, it's, you've undercut stuff that was true of us. We're not like what you are. We're something else. What have you become? There's a deep disappointment, I think, in seeing where we've gotten to. That's why when he ends, he goes, I hate that it got to this. Right before he leaves the scene, he looks at him with loving eyes, because he loves him. They are one, but he understands. And he says, man, I just hate that it got to this. It's gone too far. So powerful acting. I love that scene.
So this is a scene that really, touched emotional to me. When the little brother, they were talking about their mom, how their mom left them. And now they realize that if the mother was dead, their father probably would have killed her. Then he said, you know what? Anybody would have left. Then why were we blaming our mother? We were angry at her. So they came together. That scene, that was so emotional.
That is something I think Brandon and myself, we really agreed on. So even myself, I'm a child of, my parents are split up. So, I'm an adult child of divorce. Brandon, similar. So you have this family unit that separates. When you're young, you just want your family back.
That's right. That's correct.
You understand, you know what? Mom had to go, or dad had to go. It wasn't going to work with them together. But there's still that little kid in you.
Yes.
That just wants your family back. Because as a child, you think, I didn't pick this.
Yes.
You brought me into this.
That's right. That's correct.
And the idea that you brought me into something that you couldn't make work for me is always going to hurt. So when he says, why were we so angry? I don't think it's, I don't understand that you left, but I think it's, I just wish you had a little bit more. I just wish it was a little better for me, because you brought me into this, And in a weird way, the anger always goes to who you think is the more capable person. So to me, what that scene shows is both of these young men expected a lot from their mother. And they felt their father was weak. So they expected the strong one to take care of it. And when she didn't have enough to cover the father, the anger goes to her because it's like, Mom, you're supposed to be the hero. But it was a moment of humanization, right? These two men come together and they end with a hug.
Yes.
Because they see that Mom was human, like anyone else. She was human. We are human.
That's right.
But humanity hurts. Even though we all have it, we're not all, it still hurts. And I think that these men were having a moment where it's like, we understand, but it hurts. And sometimes that's all you can say. I understand, but it hurts.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm speaking with our award-winning director, Trivelle Simpson. The movie Talks. It's a great movie talking about the mental issues. I watched this film, it's so amazing how it was written, shot, it was directed, so it's a great film. So one thing that stood out, so the beginning and the end of the film, a ring, he removed his ring the first, when he came. The ending, after he shot himself, the wife picked up the ring. What is the significance of those two things? They are related somehow.
What the ring, so, a ring is a, so I grew up in a church, Christian church.
Yes.
So marriage is a big thing in church, they love it.
Yep.
But what they never tell you is that the ring is actually a pagan symbol. It was historically it was a mark, right? That your wife would wear a ring with your greaves, so that when she would walk, they would know she was of your home. And then, so you would have matching rings. So there's nothing spiritual about it. It's a talisman. And I think that him taking it off, knowing the night that he's about to have, is him leaving a version of himself on the table. Because there's a person he was pretending to be. Because he had all this baggage. There's a person he's pretending to be. An image that he thought he needed to have, that he was trying to do for his wife. When he takes the ring off, that's him, that's a signal. He's given up. I can't be this person anymore. So what I leave is the talisman, the symbol of our connection. And I leave it for you, my wife, because again, going all the way back,
yes,
he loves her.
That's correct.
So I have to leave for you what was yours. The talisman, a token of who I tried to be for you is now here, but I can't do it anymore. So, and then her coming to discover it. And again, Jessica, we light the scene and she sits down. We shot it once. And we came and I spoke with her again. I said, I'm explaining to her the scene. I said, this is, what's in this ring. You know what it means. I said, let's do it again. There's no dialogue, but we run the camera again. And she just starts to well up with tears. And a single tear falls from her face because, this is a woman now who has to go pick up the pieces of her life. She has to go explain to her children what happened. There's a lot that she has to do. But even in that, there's the sadness that, it goes back to what happened with the mother. He's human. So he couldn't do it, but it hurts. Couldn't do it, but it hurts. And maybe even the war within herself of, could she have done anything differently? What should she, because she was so loving. She does a great job. She was trying with everything she could to save him from what he was headed towards. But sometimes it's like, you're human and it hurts.
She nailed all the scenes because she plays so great. She played the emotion, body language, everything. She put in amazing perfect. Both of them, Troy.
Yeah.
That guy.
Troy is a beast. He is an animal. If I explain to you guys, there's a scene in the beginning where he's sitting at the kitchen table with the gun. And we cut it up a little bit. And he gets up, he sits down, the process of watching him as an actor get ready for that was insane. Because we set it up, we light it, okay, Troy, come on in. And he sits down. And then okay, Troy, so this is the scene where, this, that. And then he looks at me, he goes, give me 1 second. So no problem. And he goes, and he plays a song. And he's listening to this song. He has his eyes closed.
Yes.
And he's bowing his head. He plays it for maybe 2 minutes, maybe. Then he pauses the song. And he looks and he goes, okay, I'm ready. I said, okay, action. And he just gives it. And he's bringing himself honestly to a place of the pressure of my humanity is too much. That's what the whole work is about. If you don't support yourself, if you don't do the work, there will come a day when the pressure of your humanity, and what is humanity? That is flawed. We are flawed as people. If you don't do the work, the pressure of your humanity becomes too much. And what we're seeing is a guy who looked like he had it all together, secretly falling apart. And, he taps in that day. And it was rough. And then with Jessica, I remember I told her, we were very specific that we wanted their love to not be, we didn't want her kissing him and hugging him up. Yes. We wanted you to feel, oh no, you can't see, but you feel it in the way she hugs him when he comes in.
Yes.
She kisses him when he walks into the house and she feels his energy. So she backs up, she gives him the space. Yes. And says, do you need, because she's trying. Yeah, it was a gift. Those performers, also Tatum Douglas, the young boy, Armani, yes. Jaden, it was a gift. But the I think a man of my age, I'm always interested in marriage relationships, kind of young marriages, the balance of a wife and a husband, how they support one another. And Troy and Jessica really channeled everything we wanted from that. It's because it's the stuff that you didn't say. It's the space that you gave. It's the arguments you chose not to have that really is the balance.
Yes.
Powerful stuff.
Thank you very much for joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your award winner, Trivelle Simpson, director of Talks. Talks is a great film. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. This film will tell you something about mental illness. You won't disappoint you. You know much about it. So thank you for bringing that film to our festival and submitting that film to our festival. And I want to thank you and your crew, the writer, everybody there. It was a great film.
Absolutely. A quick shout out, Brandon Christopher is the writer. Ryan Frenary is the cinematographer, a wizard with the camera. And it's just the three of us as a team trying to get done what we need to get done.
Thank you very much. I'm Pius Joseph, founder of Hamilton Black Film Festival. Talk to you soon. Take care.
Talk to you soon.